Hey YouTube, trying a video today, little project. It's raining out. I got the day off work and I ain't got nothing to do. So this is an old side to a dresser. One of my daughters had this cheap particle board crap. And I went ahead and taken all the hardware off because we're going to use this as a base. What we're going to use it for though, let me show you here, is if you saw our video on this little Oneida Airs Dust Deputy Low Pro here, I don't like that you got to wheel this and the vacuum around. So we're going to try to build something to put the vacuum and the separator on together. So I guess first step is I got to figure out how these things come out because I'm not really quite sure. Let's see if we can get them one pulled out with needle nose. If not, we'll probably just flip it around, I guess. Put this on the bottom side. Yeah, those are in there pretty well. So first thing we're going to do is let's figure out how long this needs to be. Now, obviously, I'm going to take the vacuum off the wheels, and we'll take this off the wheels, and everything will just sit together and be on wheels by itself. So, looks like something about like this would work, but what I'm going to have to figure out, I want this hose to be centered, which don't matter with the wheels right now. The problem is, I've got this hose that came with the Dust Deputy, and I don't think these fittings come out. It'd be awesome if they did because I don't need this much hose. I need really about half of this hose. So we're going to figure that out. Some way to, maybe I could loop it, I guess, because we're not going to be sucking dust through this part. They don't want to loop though. But we're going to figure the hose out. So I guess that's the first step. Let's figure out how to make this thing work. So I'll be back. All right, guys. I got it apart. I just heated it up with the heat gun a little bit. I'm not sure how they do this end right here. That's part of the hose, but as you can see, it's definitely fatter than the rest of the hose. I'm guessing they do that for this fitting to go in it. So I'm hoping, I don't know, hoping I don't mess it up by cutting it, but we shall see. I think the first thing I want to do is let's get the wheels off of this. Now, if you remember in the video, if you saw the video, I hot glued them on, which obviously didn't do a lot, but we're not going to need these wheels on there no more. We'll probably actually use these though for the whole entire base. Not really worried about that hot glue at the moment. There we go. See, now we can get our bucket a lot closer and figure out our dimensions here before we cut the ends off of this. So now though, I know we got to put, this hose has got to go in here, which would, there we go, straight up to about right here. I can't go much more than that. I wish I had like a 90 or a 45 right here, curve it up a little bit, but I don't want to raise the vacuum up on the board. That would look silly. So looks like that's about what we're going to get. We'll just have to curve it up like that. I think that'd be fine. That 45 would really be nice, but we ain't got one. So we're going to cut it. There we go. Now, once this is all together, we'll put our hose on right there. So now what we got to do is we're going to heat this hose up and see if we can get this fitting to go in there. I don't know if we're going to get it or not, but we're going to give it a try. So see you in a minute. All right, guys. Took a little bit of work with the heat gun, but I got it to size. So now what we're going to do, set this all up how we want it. It's going to be a little bit tricky at first. Whoops. I really wish, man, just not sure how I want to do this because I want it to be as tight as possible. I guess we could go something like that because this will spin so I can always get this facing back out. That won't be an issue. So if we do something like that, go about there. See if we can twist this on around maybe. About right there. I don't have a pencil to mark with. And we'll put us a mark. About right there is what we're wanting right now. Let's get this out of our way. What did I do with my tape measure? There it is. All right. So we're going to need it to be approximately 33 inches long. I'm going to take it over to the miter saw, and I'm going to cut some off this end first to get rid of these little, I don't know what they're even called, some screwed in stuff to put cheap furniture together. And then we'll cut it to 33 and we'll be back. All right, guys, we got it cut down. Next thing I want to do, see if I can pull these wheels. Yep, they pull out real easy. All right, so we got everything marked for our 1 inch. See if we find a drill bit that's 32nd. Hopefully we get it close enough we can pop these wheels in. I don't know. All right, here's what we got. Now we got a rolling base that we can set our shop vac and dust collector on. So next step now, let's get the wheels off of this. We ain't gonna need those no more. These might be a little more challenging because they feel pretty tight in there. Here we go. Now we can set our shop vac in place. Might actually put some bolts to hold it down. Can't really bolt the back because they're going to be hitting where my feet are at. Might be able to though. Let's see. Ooh, I don't know. We're going to figure that out. But we're getting there. Let me be right back with y'all. I got FedEx pulling up with some stuff, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, guys, we got the vacuum mounted to the board. I just drilled some holes down in it and put some screws in it, so we should be good there. Next step though is going to be, how are we going to attach our bucket? Obviously, I don't want to screw the bucket down to the board because then you can't dump it. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to take one of these bungee cords and I'm going to cut this ball off the end of it here, which actually I think you can untie these if I remember correctly. Let's see. And we'll use this. So let me see if I can get it untied and make this thing work. There we go. So my plan is maybe go down just like that on both sides. It'd be nice if I had some screw-in eyelets to put on the ends, but I don't have any. So again, we're just kind of winging this thing at the moment. All right, I did find some L brackets. I have no idea what I got them for, but we could use them for this. The only problem is, how do I tie? I guess we could put it through, tie it down, and then we'll just have to slide it off the top of the bucket maybe. I don't know yet. This is kind of just all winging it like all my other videos are. So maybe something like that. It'll pull up over to the other side. We can screw it in place. So let me mark where these holes go, find some screws, and I'll be back. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if it'll work, but I hope. I think that'll work. Something just like that. That's plenty strong enough just to hold the bucket in place. That's all we're looking for. So now, let's put our hose on it. What do I do with it? And something crazy here. I did find a 45. It's a 2.5 inch, but it's not the right size to fit into my vacuum. So that's kind of a waste at the moment, but that's all right. Now it looks like right off the bat, I got my bucket way too far back. There we go. Let's see if we can get this hose in. There we go. Hang on. Okay. Hold on. We got to spin this a little bit. I'm definitely going to have to find a hose or a 45 for this because that would make this a lot tighter and look better. But for the time being, this is just what we got. I'm going to spin this around how I want it. Face. I don't think that's going to affect our suction any. It shouldn't. And I could always put some strips of wood to hold the bucket in place where it needs to sit. But that's what we got for right now. Now we're not done though. I'm gonna build something that comes up the backside here to hang our hose on that goes to here, and something probably to hold some attachments for the hose. So let me find some other scrap wood, and we'll get started on the back of this thing. All right, guys, I'm back. Been working on this for a little while. So I ended up finding, and I'll show it all to you here in a while, but I took the original end to the hose that went to the vac, cut it down, found a 90, cut it down. I hot glued it together, which is holding just fine. This hot glue gets, this isn't your, your wife's glue gun she uses for crafts. So I think it's going to work just fine. Now I'm working on the legs I'm going to put on it. So I'm trying to space them out here, or the handles, I guess, not the legs. I'm trying to space them out to where I'll have enough room to do a 45 coming down this way to help support everything on it. And the camera decided to stop on me, but it did. So hopefully you guys didn't miss too much. But right now, we're going to go ahead and mount this back leg. It's kind of a nasty spot to drill in right there. But there we go. Let's see what we got. So there's where we're at. Now I just got to get a piece cut, which I've got some that we're going to put across for a handle. And I was thinking about, I know it would be nice to do it, doing a nice little round over on it, but I'm not going to mess with that. Looks like we need a 12 7/8 for our handle. So let me get that cut and I'll be right back. All right, guys, believe it or not, we're getting close to being done here. Here's a scrap piece of wood I had that's really close to the same size. So what I'm going to do is just get it attached in here with some screws, just like that. And then we'll be ready for the next step. There we go. I think this is going to work. It's not bad. So now, the next thing we got to do is let's put some kind of a board across here that we can put our hose on. All right, guys, we are almost done. We're going to screw this piece of plywood to the handle, and then we're going to find something to make a hook or just get some hooks. I'd rather find something because this is all scrap wood. I haven't bought nothing for this whole setup. There we go. Now, we just got to figure out how we want to put our hose on here. But I think this is going to work pretty well, actually. It's not a lot to it. Now here you can see what I was talking about. I took the original piece from the vacuum hose. I cut it off completely because it was a really small hose. I didn't even need that. Had this 90 already. These are just hot glued together, but it's solid. Comes up to a hose, goes to that. So we got everything's hooked up good. Now I guess our next step is figuring out how to hang this hose, which I guess we could. This hose is kind of in rough condition. Let's see if we can get it looking a little bit better. It's got some wire hanging out of it. It's not the greatest, but I think we can make it work. Yep. I'm gonna just cut this wire off, trim it up a little bit, and we'll see if we can get on there. It's supposed to actually, kids just got back from school, or some of them did. So let's go ahead and finish hooking this thing up. Let me get my hose clamp on there just right. There we go. There's Matthew. He just got home from school. You gonna say hi, Matthew? All right, so anyways, I'd like to leave the hose hooked up. We'll run it back here. And we need something, I guess, to maybe wrap the hose around it. Not real sure yet. Maybe we could do some arms that come out and up like that. I could probably make that out of some plywood. I'm sure I've got some, and we could just screw it right to the side. So let me work on that and I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. I made some brackets. Nothing special, but I think they will work. We're just going to put them in place here. There we go. I think that will work. Let's see if we can wrap our hose up on it. Get it pushed back far enough. Yes, indeed. That'll do just fine right there. Now we got our hose on at all times. It's all mobile together. Now, like I said, I put this board, something stuck on my wheel. I put this board here for attachments later on. I know somewhere around here I have a 2.5 inch to like the 1 inch where you could put different wands or brushes on it or whatever. I don't know where it's at the moment. I'm gonna have to find it. But I think this will work. So what we're gonna do, let me plug this thing up. Let's test it out and see how it works. We got plenty of this thing now. Suction should be the same as the original video of this thing, but here we go. Looks like it's working pretty well. Whew, thing sucked you right to the table. There we go. All right, guys, so my opinion on this little setup right here, I think is very handy. Now, you know, we're not doing a review on the Oneida Dust Deputy Low Pro. We've already done a review on that and unboxing and setting it up and everything. But as far as if you work in a small workshop like I do here, I mean, this is just a 2-car garage, and it's really about a 1.5 car because these daggone stairs that go to the house. But this is a good little setup for somebody that, if you're limited on space. Now, you know, I already have the big dust collector, so most of my tools are all plumbed in or can be hooked up very simply with a 4-inch hose. So this isn't something that I will use on a daily basis with my tools, but it is something that I could use now instead of doing hooking my sander up to a big piece, to a big hose, or just sanding and letting it fly everywhere. This would come in really handy. I could roll it right out here. Typically I sanded this area. We could roll it right out here. We could hook our sander up to it, our orbital sander, and we could go to work. Very easy to tell when your bucket's full because it's clear. So yeah, I think overall it's turned out pretty cool for being a bunch of scrap wood. So hopefully this helps you in whatever you're wanting to build. Just get out there and build something. Come up with an idea, you know. Like I said, I had today off. It's pouring down rain. I can't do anything outside. So came in the garage and started piddling, and this is what we came up with. Hope it helps y'all. Make sure you like our channel, subscribe, share it with your friends. See y'all next time.